You hear? Okay. I told y'all it was gonna take me 2 seconds. I told you guys, I'm like, look, I was hurrying up trying to get over here. I'm like, I hope everybody come back. All right, so I'm about to drop. Let me drop. I got the okay, Belle. Yep, we're back. We're back. That's the link. Okay, we gotta wait for Classic Man. Yeah, please. Thank you, Lola. Please thumbs up the video, everybody. Thumbs up the video. I got my ice. Look, we ready. This is about to be a good. Oh, I see myself. I see. There we go. We gotta wait for. This is a great topic. And let me tell you, I may fall asleep on you. It's okay, Ra. We still got a few people here. Look, I need my ice. I know. I'm so bad. I gotta have my ice, and the kids be saying, "Ma, you crunching and crunching." All we hear is I can't help it. No nonsense said too. She said, "You and that damn ice. I need my ice. I can't help it." I hope everybody comes back. Okay, we gotta wait for Classic Man to come in. I can't stop crunching. Look, I got it bad. I have it so bad with my ice. And it be so good. T-Money, you back? All right. Let's get back up there. We got 12 people. Please don't forget to thumbs up. Lil Wayne, Penn brother. Hi, Lil Wayne. I'm addicted. I am. And let me tell you, the kids got she's like, Gina, I got iron pills because she's anemic too. And she makes me take it, and it'll calm me down a little bit, but it doesn't take away the craving. It doesn't take it away totally, but it stops me from eating as much. Okay, Classic Man, is this you? Wait a minute, I gotta make sure this is you. Before I put on. That is that. Wait. Oh, I know how I gotta do it. Wait. Oops. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay. Oh, I have to make sure it's the real you.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, where are you? Where you
at? No, sir. Let me explain. So I had custody of my daughter till she was 13. But again, I mean, I was working locally, but I was only making like, I want to say like $34 an hour. But as a traveling nurse, you can make up to $57 an hour. And I just want the money, right?
Right.
So her mom asked me like, because I took her to court and I got custody of my daughter. So her mom had asked me like, well, you raised her. So now, if I can like take over, and I thought that'd be great because I can't teach her how to be a woman, right? Right. I try my best to do everything I can do for her. So her mom took her, and I would go ahead. So at first I was seeing my daughter all the time. But it stopped. I just couldn't see her no more. Meaning I would come in from work, come back to the city, and I would be like, hey, where my daughter at? But she would meet me. My baby mom would meet me all the time to pick up money. $1,000 here, $3,000 there. I'm thinking, she's looking out for my kid. Right. And I just asked her one time, like, yo, where's my kid at? Every time I come here, you said my kid somewhere in Miami and Florida on a vacation. There's always something, right? And I talked to my daughter's sister one day. And she told me, she said, no, you know where your daughter at? I'm like, no, I don't. She live with my aunt. So my baby mom was collecting money from me, and she didn't even have custody of my daughter.
Oh
My
my
daughter was
God.
living with somewhere else. Yeah. So when I finally talked to my daughter, my sister had told my mom my daughter was pregnant. So when I talked to my daughter, see, I had talked to her 2 months prior to finding out that she was pregnant. So when I talked to her, she had me thinking she liked girls. I said, "You had
Okay.
a boyfriend? You had a boyfriend? Oh, ew, I don't want no boy touching on me. No, I like girls and this, that, and the third." So,
Right.
I was like,
They pull that one. They pull that one. My granddaughter pulled that one with her mom and them.
yeah, I was a little disappointed because I was like, hey, but hey, I ain't got to worry about no babies. That's the
You ain't
first
got
thing
to
I
worry about no
said to her.
babies, right?
So then when my sister told my mom, I talked to my daughter. She got all quiet on the phone, mumbling like, "I'm 2 months pregnant." So I said, "Oh yeah, you 2 months pregnant, right? I had this conversation with you 2 months ago, and you told me that you was having, chilling with girls." So I said, "No, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm about to take you to the hospital." I took her to the hospital. Not only did I find out she was pregnant, but she was 5 months pregnant, not 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Uh,
Wow.
so she had told me, so I was asking her about her mom. Like, well, where have your mom been? Because I was trying to get in contact with you, this, that, and the third, and the mom was on drugs. She left her kids in a house, and they DHS came and took all the kids out of there and scattered them wherever. And my daughter ended up with her aunt.
Wow.
Instead of her calling me saying, "Yo, bro, you need to come get your daughter,"
Come and
because
get your daughter.
yeah, I would have came back and got my kid. But you let her somewhere with your sister who 18 years old, and she looking at my
Oh,
daughter as her friend, not her niece. She looking at her like a friend.
as a friend, yeah. That's her buddy. They doing the
Right.
same shit.
So when my daughter ended up pregnant, the girl, like, I don't know how can she do that. I was around her all the time. Apparently you wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not expecting for no 18-year-old to go ahead and try to chastise or raise no 15-year-old.
She can't. She
Right.
can't.
But
Yeah.
I'm heartbroken. I was pissed off. I wanted to whoop. Listen, I'm gonna just be blunt. We all family here, so let me talk.
Right.
I wanted to whoop my daughter ass. I was pissed off. I was hurt because I talked to her all the time, and when I seen her body develop, and she was still living in my house, and I told her, like, listen, you got all your life to be somebody's mom. And the last thing I was worried about was a baby. I was telling her about STDs, and right now she lucky. That's all the hell she got put in her was a damn baby, and not nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
You right.
here like, I would talk to my daughter. Like, I was stern, but I still had that open line of communication where though she can tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want her to be scared of me. You know what I'm saying? No, I wanted her to feel comfortable with talking to me and telling me anything.
Right. Yeah.
And we had that bond until I decided to go ahead and become a traveling nurse, and she moved with her mom. So we talked here and there on the phone, but I was there financially, but not physically.
Not
And
physically. Yeah.
when I found out that she pregnant, it broke my heart. Like, I wanted to beat the boy up, his dad, because the dad was there talking shit. I'm like, I'm ready to whoop everybody ass in here.
Right. Yeah.
My daughter pregnant. He was touching on my kid. Like, but you know what? My daughter, she had a say so in that. So now I gotta blame you too. And now all of that. So I'm not mad no more. I was pissed off. I cried, all types of stuff. I was praying, thinking like, where did I go wrong? I gave her every and anything that she ever wanted. Like, she never heard no from me. Like, no matter how much it was, I made sure, because she was my only kid. So I wanted to make sure I do it big at every time she asked me. But so I'm not hurt no more. I'm not bothered. I'm happy. I met my grandson. He didn't want to let me go. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, you know what? This your baby. And told the little boy, this your baby. Y'all gonna take care of this baby. I'm not buying this baby nothing. I'll raise my kids. That's how I'm feeling. But then I started thinking, these kids, How the hell they
They're
gonna take care of
kids.
baby? How the hell you gonna take care of baby?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not about. I'm not.
And
You
they
weren't
still
know.
got to finish school. They're
And you
kids
still
that
gotta
still
finish
got to
school.
finish high school.
So my daughter was never on welfare or any type of assistance from no government and nothing like that. So I just wasn't willing to let her child be on it neither. So what I did was I took everything I said back and I went to the store and I purchased cases of Pampers, milks,
There you go.
feeding bottles, anything you could think of, teething rings,
Yeah.
everything. And I set up the room real nice. So she's supposed to come, her and the baby's supposed to come home tomorrow, and it'll be here waiting for her.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And this is the reason why. Remember, classmate, you was here. Remember when we were talking about a couple of years ago? We was talking about the boys and them having sex and boys not knowing how to use condoms, and we was talking about, you know, these girls that's going out and they sleeping around, they doing this and that, and because the moms and them is not talking to them. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to continue to share, because it's still happening. It's still happening.
But
He lost signal. He must have lost it. It's raining. It's pouring down rain in here, so he probably flipped off. He's gonna have to come back. Thank you, M. No Nonsense says that baby is going to be the biggest blessing to what you see. Exactly. Oh, he's back. He's back, you guys. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me put him back in. Come on. Hello, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. I told him it's storming. It's the rain is pouring down and it's lightning and thundering, and that's probably why the signal dropped.
Oh no, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
No, but you know what I learned though? Like, because my son mom is totally different. Me and my son mom, we were a couple. We were in love, and we communicate through everything for my son, right? So our relationship is just different. Me and my son mom versus me and my baby mom. I'm sorry, my daughter mom. Me and her, we never had no relationship, right? We were just, I don't want to make it sound too bad, but we were friends with benefits. We weren't, I can't even say we were friends. What I'm saying is basically, yeah, I'm saying friends to be nice, to be like friends with benefits, but we were just having sex basically, right? So we had sex maybe 2 or 3 times. So, and she was for everybody basically. So when she told me she was pregnant, I said, okay, congratulations. Like, you know, and then she called me from the hospital one day and she was like, hey, I'm having your kid. And she sounded serious. And again, I didn't even know her. I barely knew her.
Yeah.
Something in my heart was like, man, you got to go to this hospital, because if this girl telling you the truth, and you know, I just wanted to know if it was my kid.
You need to do the right thing, and you know, and it's
exactly. So when I went there, the doctors had gave me a DNA test.
Okay.
And it came back that she was my daughter.
It was yours, yeah. Well, so, at least you did the right thing, because some people, let me tell you, some of them just don't, you know, they don't care. I have 9 kids, and it's not a secret that I have 9, and I have 9 by several different dads, right? And when my son, my 19-year-old Ben, his dad, I remember when his mom, he came to the hospital and he knew, but the family and other people that was in his ear was saying, that's not your baby. She just blaming that baby on you because she ain't got nobody to help her with them kids and woo, woo, woo. But he knew the one thing that I don't do is play games about my children. I don't play games about who they did. I don't make up daddies. I've never done that, because I've just always been one. I'm taking care of them regardless. They mans, I brought them here. And so when he came to the hospital and it was time to sign the papers and do all that stuff, the mom and them talked him out of it. They said, don't don't sign them papers or whatever, because his mother actually said to me at the hospital after I just gave birth, she said, it's a pretty baby. It's a pretty little boy, Gina, but she was thinking it ain't my son's. And so after they left, he comes back in the room and he says, we just gonna wait. I'm not gonna sign the papers right now, right? So they didn't want to wait, to go through for the state to do everything, because you know how they dragged out. So they decided that they wanted to pay for the test themselves. And I was like, look, when, where, how, we can do it right now, wherever it is. I don't care. So we go to the hospital. They set the date and everything, and we go to the hospital. And so the nurse says, she comes out and she says, who's here for you? And she's talking to me. And I said, no one, it's just me. And she says, all of these people is here for him. His mom was there, sisters was there, sisters' boyfriends, like the whole shebang is there for him. And it's just me. I got no family, no friends, nobody. So the nurse put everybody out. She said, I don't want nobody in the room. Nobody's here except for the two parents, or supposedly parents. If you're not getting a test, I don't want you here. So she goes and she puts everybody out. We go into the office and she looks to him and she says to him, she said, let me tell you something. She said, I've been doing this for a long, long time. And she said, we get girls that lie up until we put the needle in the arm and then they confess and say, he's not the dad. She said, I can already tell you what this test gonna come back before it even come back. This is your son. She said, this young lady said, am I first? When I was there early, I was like, look, let's get this done. I was ready. She said, she's not lying. We go and get the test. They have the results come to my house, and he had the other results for them to come to his sister's house. I got mine first. It said 99.999%. This is your kid. I called the sister. I said, did he get his test yet? Results. She says, no, he didn't. He hasn't gotten it yet. I said, well, I got it. Come and get a copy, because I don't never want to hear nothing about this. And out of all of the grandmother's children and grandchildren, my son came out looking just like that woman. Splitting image of her. Looked like she spit him out herself. And the whole time they had denied it. But the sister, one of the sisters, the older sister, she said, I knew Gina wasn't lying. And everybody had put, and that's the thing, when you got outsiders and everybody saying stuff and they putting stuff, and that ain't your baby and this and that, and how you know, and woo, 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 woo. It's like you got to keep everybody out your business, and you don't listen until that test tells you whether it is or it ain't. Because in the end, no matter what, it makes it harder on the children. And like I said, it broke my heart yesterday when my son said to his sister, he was calling her, what's her name? He said, yeah, what's her name? She left. Because he didn't remember. They were babies and she remembered them, and she remembered a lot of things about them when they grew up, but they didn't remember her. And they was calling her, what's her name? So can you imagine if that young girl didn't reach out to me and she happened to see one of her brothers on the street? Or because you hear things about that happening, cousins getting together, it's because they don't know their cousins,
right?
Brothers and sisters, they getting together, and they live in the same state, so it could have been any chance that she could have ran across one of her little brothers on the street and they not know who she is, because they calling her what's her name? They don't even know her first name. They don't even remember her first name, and it broke my heart, but. It's what can I do? Even when she reached out to me, I was scared because I was still in that mindset. I was like, I don't want no problems with your family. They had put myself and my children through so much. We're finally in a place in our life to where my sons is trusting again and they're happy and all of that. And I didn't want any of that ruined. So I was hesitant about even letting her, talk to them and meet them. And then And then when I didn't get a message from Ferran when he got home from school, and I didn't get a message from him, and he didn't check in with me, oh shit, I'm thinking all kind of shit. I'm like, did he put her up to, you know, contact us so he can, you know, take the boys and all that? It's just so much different stuff that was going on. But in the end, by the grace of God, it turned out amazing. Like, they got along, they exchanged numbers. They were very, very happy. Angel was so happy that, you know, she got her sister and everything again. And I'm happy that we did do that, and I'm happy that they got to know their half sister. And y'all know I don't like using half. I don't like using that half stuff. And now that's your sister. These are, you know, your brothers. And that's how we did it at the table. I was really, you know, upset and agitated when my son was saying, what's her name? What's her name? And it took their godmother to say, Gina, this is not your fault. You know, this is their father, because he should have been the one to make sure all of his children know each other. And they needed that if he didn't do anything else. But of course he didn't. He kept them separated. And it was my children that he chose not to have any involvement with anymore. And that's sad.
Well, let me say, as far as the DNA tests go, I think every man know before they even get a test. When I seen that little girl, and I held her in my, first of all, I think my genes are so thick. Like, my daughter don't even look like her mom. She looked like me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I held her in my arms and I felt her heartbeat, and I fell in love. Like, I was gasping for air because I was nervous, I was excited, and I was happy. And before the results came back, I was like, yo, this is my kid. I can feel it that this is my kid.
You know, yeah. Yep.
And I held my daughter, and I remember taking my shirt off and laying in a hospital bed next to my baby mom.
Wow.
And my daughter laid on my chest. And when it was time for me to go, because I had to go to work, I went to pass my daughter back to her mom, and my daughter wouldn't stop crying. She did not want her. She wanted me.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's your daughter. And I said, I know, I can feel it. And I'm going to say, within a month of my baby mom leaving the hospital, my daughter, she called me and she said, I can't do it. She already had kids. My baby mom already had 3 kids. So she said she couldn't do it. And at first, you know, my heart dropped because I wasn't ready to be no dad. I never had to be no dad. But I had to man up because I'm like, you know, she's talking about giving my kid away. Hold on. Like, no, let me go ahead and get custody of my kid. And I can honestly say, like, I got to pat myself on the back. I was at PTA meetings. I don't went on field trips.
There you go.
Like, you know, like, I remember being a kid and going on field trips, but seeing other people's parents, but my parents weren't there. So I just wanted to make sure anything I can do for my daughter and any type of support I can give her, I'm gonna show up and show out. So when, again, I was being selfish because I was thinking about the money in hindsight, but I always talked to my daughter and I thought the things that I have instilled in her, like, you know, I don't want you to become a statistic of your environment. I don't want you to be that. Like, and then here's the thing, like, I lived in a great neighborhood. Like, I didn't live in the hood. Like, I lived in a great neighborhood. So, you know, basically, I just thought she was prepared to go live with her mom when I decided I want to make more money. I want to make the money. So,
and she wasn't.
And she wasn't prepared because her mother wasn't prepared for her to come there.
Wow. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting Classic Man.
I just want to cry right now because I'm really heartbroken, man, because
we got you. I got you, babe.
I don't want that for my kid. I don't want that for my daughter. I want the best for my kid, and I try to be there for her as much as possible. And she broke my heart. Like, I ain't never feel this pain. Like, I don't went through a lot of stuff in my life, but I've never felt this. I have to sit here and watch my kid raise a kid.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pitch in and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be there for my grandbaby, but I'm not getting up in the middle of the night to make no bottles, change no Pampers, none of
That's
that.
what
That's
she got to
your
do.
job.
Yep.
You
Yep.
did that to raise my kids.
Yep.
But I'm still happy because the little guy. The reason why I was saying how, when I went to the hospital, I met my daughter for the first time, and she held on to me and she wouldn't let me go, was because when I went to this hospital and I seen her baby, he was squeezing on my finger, like he was holding on to me. And when I went to go give him back, he was screaming and hollering. And it just made me feel
that
it
energy.
It came full circle for me. And it was like, man, you gonna be here for this baby. All that shit you talk, all that crazy stuff you were talking is just how you felt at that moment.
At that moment, yep.
Your blood, and you gonna be there, and I'm gonna make sure my family, my people cool. So I already told the dude, the baby father, like, listen, at some point, you're gonna have to get a job and take care of your kid, right?
Yeah.
But for now, I'm gonna make sure my grandbaby got everything. And I told my daughter, all I'm asking you now, see, because I had so many high hopes for you, and I'm not gonna go ahead and not still have that for you. But what I'm focusing on right now is you to graduate from high school and present me with a high school diploma. Anything else after that, we can talk about it. We can go forward with whatever you want to do after that. But right now, you need to go ahead and get an education so you can go ahead and be something for your child.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Again, I'm happy, but I'm still heartbroken. And I don't know what made me click on, because I'm your friend on Instagram, right? So when you get off here, you'll see the pictures. I just posted the pictures, right, on my Instagram of the baby and me, right? So I logged off Instagram and I logged on and I seen you. So I was like, let me go ahead and, because Gina always got people laughing and upbeat. So let me go in here, because I was feeling a little ways after I posted that. So when I came in, I'm like, let me go ahead and get filled with all the love and energy, because that's that's what goes on in your room.
Right. That's what someone else was just saying before you came. They was like, Gina, you still the same. You still the same way. It's always love and positivity over here. And I'm like, that's just me. People, I don't know how folks can sit there and watch everybody argue and drag folks down and this and that. I like to share. And so I was just sharing, about the twins and Angel meeting their sister, again, for the first time to them.
No, and I would have listened to that. And, because I don't say much. I say enough, but not too much. But I think when Belle had asked me, well, how you been, Classic, man? And I just started venting, like, you know what? I'm fine, but I'm happy, I'm sad, whatever the case may be. And I just start going off because that was on my mind. Like, and I'm one of the people, I don't like to go ahead and share my problems with anybody. But this is the first time in my life that I felt this way. Like, I've never felt less than a man. Like, I broke down. When I say I broke down crying, like, I broke down. And I done came across a lot of situations, but ain't nothing ever break me like this broke me.
Like this.
I just, my baby, my little princess, like, no.
You want everything for her, and you want the right thing for her, and you want everything to come when she's ready. And that even if she was gonna have a baby in time, you wanted it to be when she's ready and not.
Yes, when she's ready, she can be prepared for it. It's hard out here. It's hard out here for anybody, for her, let alone her with a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's 3 times harder for her, and that's with you being involved. And if you wasn't there, if she didn't have at least one parent that she can go to, it would be 10 times harder for her and that child. Thank God that she got you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be right there by her side. Like, I'm not gonna go ahead and badger her any more than I already did. I'm not gonna make her feel bad about nothing. I'm gonna keep uplifting her and keep encouraging her to keep on going. Because you gotta go ahead and become something better for yourself, but your child. And my daughter know I don't hold grudges. I'll say how I feel, If I'm hurt at that moment, but I'll get over it. And once I'm over, I don't mention it no more. So I'm not gonna be one of them parents that be like, yeah, well, you got pregnant at 15 and had a baby at 16. No, I talked
Right.
about it. That's what I said. It's done. All I'm asking you to do right now at this moment is to progress and make me proud, make me feel
Yeah.
like, you know what?
And now and she has to teach her son now what not to do so that he don't become a young father.
I'm just so happy she had a son.
Get
I
there.
mean,
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't want him to become a young father neither, but I'm so happy she had a son. Because I had, okay, again, my baby mom, my daughter's mom, her daughter, they used to live with me because I still had custody of my daughter, but my baby mom and her daughter had got put out. And they asked me, can they come stay with me? And I had the room, and I said, yeah, of course. And I thought it would be great because she can come help me take care of my daughter while I go to work. So I was like, absolutely. But I remember her being on the phone, my baby mom being on the phone with one of her sisters. And I think my baby mom niece told her mom that my baby mom daughter was pregnant, and she was 15, right?
Oh.
So she said, yeah, my baby mom first daughter had a baby when she was 15. She was 15.
Oh, wow.
So I told her, I said, oh, hell no. I said, I know she was pregnant. I know, and she was like 5 months pregnant too, right? So you can't go ahead and beat her, but you need to make her feel like she need to know what she did was wrong, man. And I
right.
said, you got another daughter that's watching how you interact with her right now at this moment. They left out because she wanted to be sure, so she took her to the hospital. And I promise you, when they came back, you would have thought they were friends. And I said to her, that's why my daughter can't live with you, man, because that little girl right here, because my daughter watching. Because if she thinks she gonna get pregnant, she gonna come back with a baby, and y'all gonna be cool.
It's gonna be okay. She's gonna think she thinks it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, no, fuck, my daughter can't live with you. This, that, and the third. But I promise you, we would talk. Me and my baby mom, we became friends. So we would talk, and I would talk to her about all her problems, whatever the case may be, and I would let her know what I wanted to do. She would let me know her goals. So my daughter was living with me, and I just told my baby mom, like, again, I want to be a traveling nurse. They make this much money, this, that, and the third. And I got my daughter right here to 13, and if you want to help me, she said she'll help me. I said, of course, like, yeah, absolutely. You know what and especially after talking to her, I'm thinking she matured, like she grown up somehow.
No, she didn't.
And
the mom was, she was one of the issues. My son, my oldest, he got his girlfriend pregnant. They were seniors, their last year of high school. And I never forget, every day, every time I turn around, we was throwing condoms in I was giving him condoms. His dad was giving him condoms. His stepdad was giving him condoms. We all had to talk with him. And I never forget when his girlfriend, at the time when she was his girlfriend's baby mom, he's got, my two granddaughters that y'all see all the time. It's them. And that's why my granddaughter is older than Angel, because he got her pregnant right out of high school. And I said to him, I said, Trey, he's like, she trying to make me be a daddy and I don't want to be a father, and she pregnant and she says she gonna have the, and I said, but what happened to the condoms? Like, we gave you condoms. Like, this is what I'm saying to him. Meanwhile, his father is saying to her, you got to have an abortion. You can't make my son be a father. And I'm trying to explain to his dad that your son had a part in this too, because he could have used the condom. And he says to me, well, she said she was on birth control. And I said, kids, go in the other room. I put it bluntly. I said, that don't stop his dick from falling off. I said, so regardless of him getting her pregnant, he should have been, because what if she would have had, like you said, STD, AIDS, stuff that you can't, herpes, shit that you can't get rid of, and we giving him all these condoms and he's not doing nothing with it because he's saying the girl said she was on birth control, and you're mad because I told him we can't make her get an abortion or that's something for her and her mother to decide. And I told the mother, as a mother to a mother, whatever you and your daughter decide to do, I'm there with you. If you guys decide that she's not going to keep the baby because she's young and she's just finishing high school, I understand that. I said, but if you decide to keep the baby, I'm here to do whatever it is that I can do to help, for my son. Meanwhile, my son and his father is in the hallway. They're arguing, and all they trying to do, and they making it like it's the girl's fault. And that's the one thing that we have to explain and let our daughters know and our sons that it takes both of you guys. And if you did do your responsibility, stop worrying about if she's on birth control or not. I'm doing my responsibility as a mother to protect my daughter, to make sure that she doesn't get pregnant. But if she decides to let him go in her raw, it ain't nothing that I can do. It's nothing that I can do. I can't protect you from getting the STD. I can't protect you from getting AIDS or anything else, but I can try to prevent you being a young mother at a young age. And that was, and I just went off of, because I'm a mother and I was a young mother with all these children that nobody talked to me and nobody helped me. And I knew that I didn't want that for them as well. But then my oldest son, who I told everything to, still did the da-dunt and got his girlfriend pregnant and didn't use none of the damn condoms that we gave him.
Well, let me tell you why I was about to beat the dad up, the kid up, and the mama. Because he didn't want to have no baby neither. He was sitting there, my daughter 5 months pregnant when I found out that he had a baby, or she had a baby, and he was talking about abortion. I said, that's a whole baby, right? And I don't believe in no type of abortion, right? Right. But I said to him, bro, you want her to get an abortion after you done did her dirty, basically. You want her to get an abortion so you can now move on with your life and do everything you got to do, and then go marry and get somebody else pregnant and have a whole family after you done did my daughter dirty. Hell no. Right. Right. You're gonna be right there, and a father, ain't nobody tell you to have sex with my kid. So you're gonna be right there with her. And every day you see that baby and have to look at that baby, you're gonna realize that's what happened when you have sex, when you're a kid.
Yep.
You had like, but here's the thing. This is what got me though, right? Because my daughter, I don't know if I'm like, when I last seen my daughter, you have to understand, my daughter was into like weird stuff. Like when she was a kid, she liked not weird stuff. She was a kid, but Dora the Explorer, like stuff that I remember. So if I go in my house right now, I still have the little table set up that she had bought, the dye houses and all that stuff. Like, and I go home and I look at the stuff and I'm like, damn, like I still remember her being this little innocent kid.
Like it was just yesterday.
Like it was yesterday or whatever. So I'm like, damn, like I remember you calling me for Dora the Explorer and this Teletubbies and all this crazy stuff. And now you sitting here calling me about a baby.
Wow.
Like I was lost for words.
Yeah.
And again, I think
and you gotta, cause she's young too. So not only do you have to be a father to her, but you have to teach her how to be a mother.
I can try my best. Again, I definitely want to teach her what I know. Cause again, I didn't know how to be a father, but it came naturally. Like I was up patting a baby 3 months on my shoulder so she can burp and stuff like that. I had to learn that from my mom. Like, hey, you ain't gonna feed this damn baby and not burp her.
My son, the same. I had to tell him everything. He said to me, classic man, I'll never forget. When I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital having the twins, because mind you, my granddaughter's birthday. Actually, her birthday was the 18th of this month. Her birthday is October 18th. The twins' birthday is November 4th. So the twins will be 16. And I was in the hospital because they were born 3 months premature. And his girl's mother was in the hospital having her. He calls me at the other hospital and says, Mom, can you leave out the hospital and come here? Because he was scared. He didn't know what it was to be, you know, a dad, and it's his first time, and he's seeing you know, this girl have this kid come out, and they're 17, you know, 17, 18 years old. She's older than him. And so he didn't know what's what. And he's like, Mom, and I'm in the hospital hooked up to a machine for the twins. And he's like, can you just come? Can you just, I said, boy, they will arrest me. They're not going to let me leave. I said, I could be on the phone with you, and he was terrified. He was terrified. And I did like just like you told that young man, I said to him, you're a father now, grow the fuck up. You know, grow the fuck. You wasn't crying, mama, when you was getting it. You wasn't crying. And I told him all this on the phone while I'm in there, you know, and he had to learn. And it was a lot of stuff. They would put the baby blankets and lay it on the floor. And I would say, you don't put that on the floor, and then you got to cover the baby's face with that. And the same way, teach them how to burp the baby and different stuff like that. She didn't, you know, neither. Thank God her mom was alive at the time and her grandmother. So they helped her with a lot. But during the times when he had her and I had to teach him and show him everything. And he was terrified. He was terrified. It's hard.
Well, I don't know much about raising babies. First of all, been years, at least 15 years since I had to go ahead, or 16 years. My son's 16 too, about to be 17. At least 16 years since I had
no nonsense. Thank you. Whoever blessed me, thank you.
Since I had to go ahead and be somebody's, like do stuff for a baby, basically. It's been a whole bunch of years since I had to bathe somebody, feed somebody. Like, so I'll definitely go ahead and show her what I know. Yeah. But the good thing about
check on him in the middle of the night, making sure that, you know, he's laying on his side and the right, like all of that. Cause you know, you got to be concerned with crib death, and then you can't have the baby sleeping with you, because so many parents roll over on the baby.
Right. But it was stuff that I just wasn't used to. But luckily for me, I did have a mom, right? And my mom got 13 kids. So luckily for me, my mom was right there.
You got a great mom. She's old school, a natural.
Right. My mom got 13 kids and 9 girls. So my daughter got a lot of female aunts that she can go ahead and count on and call on if she need them. Because again, I'm gonna be there as much as I possibly can. Because now I still have to go make a living, not only for you but for your son.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not gonna go ahead and have my kid on somebody's food stamps or
no nonsense. Yeah,
you know, stuff like that. I never had her on that, so I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. So even
you know what, Classic, I feel you on that, because like I said, you know, with mines and everything I went through, we grew up on you know, CETA and WIC and Section 8 and food stamps and all of this stuff. And I wanted to make sure that my kids, as they became adults and they have children, that they wouldn't have to go on that, and they wouldn't have to deal with that. And I was just determined to break the cycle, because I know what I went through, and I know, you know, the hell that I went as being a young mother and having to learn different stuff and this, and I just didn't want none of my daughters. And I was kind of happy when my daughter said, I don't never want no kids. I don't want no, when they got older and they started thanking me like, Mom, thank you for getting us that birth control, this and that, because they were seeing their friends as their friends were, you know, in high school and coming out of high school. Some of them had already had, by the time they graduated, they had like 2 or 3 children already. And they saw what they were going through.
Well, you know, my mom definitely was on Section 8 and stuff like that, so I totally get that, right? But what I did, I just wanted something better for myself and definitely for my kids. So and the thing about welfare, and this is why I would never, first of all, I made too much money. They weren't gonna put me on welfare. But even if that was the case, I would never have did it, because welfare is them people, right? They always want to give you something, but they want to take it away when they get ready, right? So if you give somebody the right to feed you, you give them the right to starve you. And I'm not going to have that. No.
Say it. You better, y'all hope these people is listening. I hope y'all listening to this. You
Yeah, so
better
I'm
tell them.
not gonna have that. I'm not gonna have that, and I'm gonna have my kid and my grandkid eat whatever and whenever they want to, right? And then
There you
have to
go.
wait till a certain time of the month to go eat. No, we're gonna eat all day, every day, and yeah, and
Yep.
I'm blessed to be able to have the income that I do have. Um, and again, I'm just gonna be there for her as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
I'm still a little disappointed, but I guess after talking to you, I do feel a little better. And I'm reading the comments, no nonsense, and Bell and everybody, and I feel a
You know,
lot
we
better.
family. These is all the old school family queendom. These ain't the new people. So they
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, these my sisters up in here. So, but yeah, I definitely feel better, and thank you for allowing for me to come to your platform and share this
you're
crazy.
welcome. You're welcome. No problem. We man, because we need each other when times and stuff like this, you know, go on and you go through all this was that, like, just like I said, when I found out that Cece was pregnant, and you know she was going, I told everybody I have to leave. I can't do this stuff and deal with these people in the mess when I needed to be focused on my daughter, because you got to be you're going to have to be focused on her and her needs. And one of the other things is she's 16 and she's young. You're going to have to worry about and watch her for postpartum depression. And that's going to be very hard for a 16-year. It was hard for me having it as an adult when
Right.
I went through it. Why you lie? So that's another thing, that, you know, they don't talk about that stuff no more, and they don't tell you about that, and they don't tell you what they used to talk to us about postpartum and all this stuff before we left the hospital. Do you know they don't do that no more? When my daughter left the hospital, they didn't give her a pamphlet. They didn't give her anything about postpartum depression if
Well, they
she's
better
going through this.
they better give her something because she come up in here with that crazy stuff. I got the cops on speed though.
There you
I'm
go.
like
Yeah.
911. You better get up out of here.
Yeah. It's you know, it's serious. Is the in some let me tell you, some grown women, let alone, they don't even realize they have it. Some of them don't know why they don't have a connection. Like, they'll just say, you know, you might be sitting, y'all may be watching TV or a movie, and the baby screaming and hollering, and she's right there, and you'll say to her, like, you don't hear the baby hollering, you don't, and she don't feel a connection or anything, and she don't know why she's feeling a connection. That's part of postpartum. And
Right.
there's a lot of, you know, women and young women that go through that, and these signs, they don't even know the signs. They don't understand it. They just know, I heard the baby cry, but I just didn't know. I just didn't want to pick them up or her up. I
Well,
just didn't want to be, you know,
I
bothered
think
with them, and they don't know why it is. And before, back in the day, I remember when we would go get WIC, you had to go to a class. You had to go through all these parenting stuff before they would even give you your WIC coupons. Now, you know, that you bust that baby out, drop that baby, if you good enough, they sending you home the next day. And they don't, and the kids are not getting any training. No one's getting any training or any help. And we need this, not just for them, but for our sons. So my sons just told me about, when they had sex education in their health class, they had it not for one day, class day, a couple of hours, maybe an hour or so, a half an hour in that classroom. They was like, yeah, my teacher just talked about, we talked about the girls' period, and we talked about if you get them pregnant, and then that's it. And I said, y'all, they didn't go through anything else? Nope. After that next day, we was on another subject. Back in the day, you got a whole semester of
right,
that.
right.
And they taught the girls as well as the boys back then. And
Yeah.
now our children and them are not. And if you don't have a parent that's telling them what to do, when to do, what not to do, how to do it, if you're gonna do it, then they out here learning it on their own, basically off of videos and what they see out in the real world. And then this is what happens, because you got young girls out here still thinking that they can have sex, and if he pull out, they won't get pregnant.
Right.
You got girls still believing that shit. Like, it doesn't matter if they don't know that it's already he's already ejaculated before he even pull out. It's already, they don't know this, and nobody is explaining this to my girls be like, oh my, because I give it to them in the raw. I tell them, and I know no nonsense. I see you, but somebody's child, believe you me, is peeking in on here, and they watching this, and a young mother somewhere is watching this, and they need to know. We gotta stop keeping things cute. You know, we gotta say. I used to hate. You know, when we use them old sayings of when your little girl got a pee-pee and stuff. Yo, twat. Did anybody mess with your twat? No, you call it what it is. You know, your wee-wee, what your wee-wee hurt. No, you call it what, this is why they confuse and they think things is cute, because we are always putting a cute name on shit.
Gina, can I tell you why I'm so thankful, though?
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you why I'm thankful, right? This is why I was upset. I wanted her to know I was hurt, but I wasn't hard on her, right? Because she told somebody, even if it wasn't me, she told my sister, and she knew my sister would have called me, right? I guess she didn't have the guts to call me and tell me. But I'm glad she felt comfortable to do that, because last month, was it, a 15-year-old girl had a baby in the same city, and on the news, she threw that baby in a trash can.
Jesus.
She never told nobody. So I'm thankful my daughter, you know, felt comfortable and compelled that she can tell somebody and not try to hide it and end up throwing her son away because she was afraid.
She was afraid. Just like here in Chicago. Remember, you heard last year when that young girl had that baby and threw the baby out the window?
Oh my God, no.
Yes, this was just last year in Chicago. My kids' god sister lived in the same building. They matter of fact, they got a video. I was gonna post it. They got video where everybody in the building did a visual for this baby, because the younger, she was Indian. They didn't even know, honey. You know who they went to? They went to all the blacks in the building and everything else in the minorities, and it wind up being an Indian girl. Didn't want her, because you know they really, really strict, and didn't want the parents and them to know. She had the baby in the bathroom and threw the damn baby out the window, out like, I think it was like the 10th floor window or something like that. And they saw this dead, naked baby out. This was just last year. And this is the reason why we need to educate our kids and let them know they not alone. They got somewhere to go. When my son got his girlfriend pregnant, he didn't come to me right away. He went to his father, but I was glad. And then his father came and told me, but I was glad that he felt comfortable enough that he can come. He can go to one of us. And my daughters and them saying, well, I was telling, look, if you can't talk to me, talk to your aunt. If you can't talk to your aunt, talk to your godmother. And it was great, a blessing that she felt comfortable enough to be able to go to your sister, because she knew that, okay, she would tell you, and she felt that was a more safer route to do it, because you got some of these girls that won't say nothing, and they'll just have them and throw them away.
Right. Because again, I've seen she was liking girls.
Wow.
Yeah, the last she told me she likes girls. Next thing I know, I think 2 months later she's pregnant. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, no, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I think because now, remember, back in the day, it wasn't, no, you would never tell your mom or brother or whoever that you like girls, you were fake. But now, because of how society and everything is now, it's so many of our daughters figured that's a safety net. So if I tell my dad that I like girls, if I tell my mom that but I'm really sneaking off with this boy, because my granddaughter did the same thing. My granddaughter told her mother said to me, she said, I thought she liked girls. And the reason how she found out that it was a boy that gave her all the hickeys, because the little sister told that the boy came over and that they was in the hallway. in the back hallway. My younger granddaughter told her mom. And so she was so upset because she was saying something. She said, I thought she was liking her. I said, girl, that's a ruse. She was you. I said, you better go take her and get her some birth control as soon as you can. Because now you want to be there for them and you want to support them no matter who they love, who they care about. But now they're lying about it to keep the truth from happening or coming out.
I just wish she would have given me a chance to go ahead and say, hey, because you're going to do what you want to do. But if I can slow the process down and talk to you about something. And again, we had that bond that I didn't think she would go ahead and do that and go that route. But because she wasn't underneath my room, my roof, she thought she can do what she want to do. And I feel like she knew, my daughter knew. Like, see, we had that bond, like, but she knew not to play with me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she knew I would go off on her, right? But her mom just wasn't that person. See, my daughter, she knew I was stern, but I still had that open line of communication where she can, because my daughter come talk to me like that, my period on, can you go to the, I remember I was at the damn supermarket trying to figure out the damn pads. I was buying the wrong stuff, taking it back because I didn't know.
Right.
But what I'm saying is she felt that comfortable, and I made her feel that comfortable. She didn't get a period and try to hide it like, my sisters did because they were scared, but my daughter came to me and was like, that I need some pads. I went and bought tampons.
Right, yeah.
I bought damn tampons, and she's like, that, what the hell? I can't use this. I had to go take it back.
Right.
I had to take it back and get the right kind. But what I'm saying is we were cool. Like, we were good enough to go ahead and have that bond. Like,
and have that conversation.
Yeah. Right. So then when I felt like her body was maturing, I said, hey, baby, let me talk to you, right? Because a lot of boys gonna start looking at you. And I've seen, me and my daughter was out, and for her to go ahead, and even though she was 13, she was built like her mom with boobs and butt. And I would go ahead and let her know, like, hey, if you start dressing crazy, because one time, see, my daughter, I remember her liking to dress real kiddish, like. But I remember I let her go to her mom's house one day for a weekend, and when she came back, she had a whole like weave ponytail thing on her head, this, that, and the third. And my daughter was 13, but if looking at her at that moment, she looked like she was like 16. So I told her, let me tell you something, right? I don't play that, right? So I went and I made my sister do her hair and some Bali bars and barrettes. And I got a shirt made that say, hey, I'm 13 years old. And you're going to wear the shirt out the damn door because you're a kid. So, and she knew, okay, he's going to embarrass me. So this guy want me to go ahead at 13, about to be 14 years old, walking out the door with Bali bars and barrettes and a little kitty t-shirt on and say I'm 13, right? So let me not play with him. Like, so yeah, but she knew not to play with me. That's what I'm saying. We had that bond and we would still laugh and bust it up, but she still knew not to play with me. And I just think if I would have just been there and not try to chase money, I don't think I'll be sitting here having this conversation right now.
Yeah. Well, you got to look at, and look at it this way too. Everything happened for a reason. I don't think God make no mistakes. Things happen the way it should happen. And the same way that I had all 9 of my kids and I go through, I remember, it would be one person that you probably remember too, seeing this person that used to always pop up on my timeline and I always say, why Miss Gina, why every time we turn, she got a problem and she got an issue in this thing. And I always said to everybody, and I still say it to this day, God ain't going to give me more than he can handle. And I think he gives me those problems and those issues because he knows I'm going to overcome them. And it's for me to share with everybody else so that they don't have to be in the same situation, in the same predicament. And look at me now. And even though, I got a good job now and I'm able to do a lot better now for myself and for my kids than I was before. I still go through times when and still have issues. Now my truck is acting up now, and I just say, don't start this, and it's getting cold and all of this stuff and this and that. But then again, I just say, I'm like, this is another trial and tribulation. It's a learning experience that I'm gonna have to go through and work it out and get over it and share it so that, you know, it can help someone. We helping somebody right now just by talking about it and sharing this situation. And we always say, well, why the hell this happened to me? Why, you know, I did such and such and this and that. But it's not a mistake.
Yeah, I'm a pretty cool dude. Like, I'm a pretty decent guy. I promise you. I'm always there, and I'm looking out for me and everybody in my regular life.
Oh, I know. Like, I know.
Yeah. Like, why they want to come mess up my whatever? Like, why they want to just come mess with me, man?
Yeah.
Like, me and my kid was fine, and my baby mom cool with it. If you talk to her right now, she'll be like, "Oh, he need to get over that shit. It happened. He need to get over it." And I guess maybe women feel that way, like, because, you know, they're women and they can understand. But me right now, I'm looking at, I'm her dad. You know what I'm saying? I can't even go ahead and I gave her the master bedroom. Here's the thing, I gave her the master bedroom. So when she come, she got the front bedroom, got the bathroom, walk-in closet, all that. Like, I can't even look at her like my little girl. She's having sex. So I can't even go ahead and look at her like my little girl.
She's grown up. She's grown now. That's right, how you gotta look. She's grown. She's doing grown folk things.
I don't need her walking down the hallway with a towel on and I'm coming out up the steps, any of that. No, you get the bathroom, the bedroom with the bathroom. You don't come out that motherfucker. Everything in there, you can, you know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for her to come home again, and it's comfortable, and I try to make everything comfortable. And plus, the room bigger because her baby is going in that room with her. I promise you that. I'm not. I got because I got my office. I'm not giving her my office. I'm sorry. Like, you know, maybe he get a little bigger or something, but by the time he get bigger, hopefully she be bigger and they both can move up. But yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah, I'm gonna be there for her. I'm gonna be there for her.
Yeah, I'm gonna get over. I know you are. I know you're gonna get through this, and she's gonna finish school, and she's gonna be amazing. The best thing ever is that she's there with you, and she's gonna have what she need, and the baby is gonna have what he needs. That's the best thing ever.
Right. I already set rules. Your baby father can't come to my house. Can't no man come up in my house. The only man coming through these doors is me. Can't no man come up in there.
Now you know I'm with you on that one, because you know how I am. You know, with mans, I don't play that mess. I don't play that stuff. I look, because I don't even bring dates here. So I let them know no, we're not doing none of that. None of that's going on up in here.
Right.
Not even when Cece had to stay here. When Cece was staying here with me for that little time before, you know, she had gotten her apartment, and this was before she had gotten pregnant. But I had to lay the ground rules out. I'm like, look, your buddy or whoever, they can pick you up, you know, outside at the door, but don't think this is not Motel 6, 8, whatever. It ain't going down up in here. It can't happen, and you have to set them ground rules. And I charged rent and everything, and they be ready to go. For some reason, my kids be ready to go real quick when I start telling them they got to pay rent. But they good at paying somebody else rent. They go somewhere, they don't have a problem. But when I tell them they got to pay rent, they be like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready. I got to hurry up and move up out of here." Go.
Like, kids are, that's crazy. But Gina, I appreciate
that's why I'm counting these last 3 down. I'm counting the last 3 out. The twins, I got 2 more years, and I'm counting them out the door. When I told them it is not going to be a house to come back to. I'm selling this house. I'm going to use the money to go get me a tiny house. I want me a little tiny house. I want on some land. I want me a small piece of land somewhere. And they're going to have to get a hotel, a room or something up the street, because I told them it ain't going to be enough room for them to cough in, to turn around. Ain't going to be no spending the night. You ain't going to even be able to keep, the baby can't stay because I ain't going to have no room for the baby.
Well, I don't want no more kids.
I'm just doing me.
right now I don't want no more kids. I'm 37. Maybe one day I'll have another one, but right now I don't want no more kids because I'll be ready to go to jail, Gina. Uh, because you gotta
I
protect your kid, no matter what age they is. Like right now, if
yes.
you Google, uh, and this city right here, like I think 3 days ago, I want to say like 3 days ago, some girl was riding the subway, right? And it's all
Mhm.
these people in the sub, and she thinking she protected. Some guy decide not only is he going to rape her, he's going to do it in front of all these people. And you know what
I
these damn
heard
people
about that,
did?
and they said they
They
had was holding up
videotaped
their
it.
cell phones.
They was taping her getting raped.
I I swear I heard about that. I saw that. It came on my news timeline. And when
That
I heard,
happened
I
right
was
here.
like, what the fuck? They said the people was actually holding up their cell phones, recording about this girl getting raped in front of everybody. I could not believe that.
Let
I
me tell
couldn't
you
believe
something.
it.
Yeah, that happened right here in the city, and they could have pulled the alarm, made the train stop, and get this dude locked up. But they was willing to go ahead and take. And I felt like when the cops got there, everybody should have been locked the hell up because y'all accessory to a crime, and then y'all
Yes.
videotaping it.
Yes.
And then it was on the internet for quite some time, I guess. And they took and banned the video, but they had the video up there. You really couldn't see nothing, but he was really raping this girl, and she's screaming and hollering for her life, like, "Please stop him, y'all! Please get off me!" And they laughing and videotaping it. And I felt like every man,
Jeez.
because if I was on there, I would have been going to jail. I'd have split that motherfucker head to the white meat.
Yep.
What the hell is y'all
There
doing?
you
So
go.
every man on here, y'all ought to be ashamed and embarrassed of yourself. Like, and I'm sure they got daughters too. That's crazy.
Right. That's crazy. That's insane. I don't even. This is why I said, classy me and the kids, Gamma. We went to Friday. I had met her. We went to the gun range. Remember, I was telling you guys that I take the twins and Angel now, and I take them and we go to the gun range, and it is because if look, when I run out of bullets and I stop shooting, they gonna shoot. And we shooting to kill. I'm headshot, neck shots. We shooting to kill. Anybody, you come up in here, you come anywhere around, and I teach them. And they the boys, they teach me, like, they're really good, and they have a great understanding that this is for protection. This is not a toy. This is not a plaything. And that's why not only do we, when we go to shoot and everything, I have them go through the class. We do the classes and everything because I want them to know every time we walk in that gun range before we go out there to shoot, this is serious. This is not a game. These are not toys. This is for protection.
Right.
And because now people, they do this, folks. They'll watch you get attacked, and they won't help you. Nobody won't do nothing.
Yeah.
And that's sickening. That's crazy.
But for it to be men, if you would have seen the video with all the men on that train and letting that happen to that woman, like, I was born and raised in the city. I was so disappointed. Like, what, man? If I was on that train, that dude would have been leaking. He would have been begging for me to kill his motherfucking ass.
I didn't even know. I knew they were saying in the thing that they were saying that the girl was being raped on the train in front of a lot of people, and the people they said they were holding up their cell phones, videotaping it like it was a joke. But I never saw any videos or anything, or never heard about it. And I was just like, I was at work when I saw it, and I was like sick to my stomach because, mind you, I'm in leasing and I do leasing, and a lot of times we have to walk up in these apartments with men, by themselves. And even though they have us put this alarm thing or alert thing on our phones, but what if you can't get to your phone? What if you don't have time to turn the phone on or put the code in to do whatever? Anything can go wrong. And I've turned down a lot of people where I've had them do self-guided tours where they go themselves and I just take their IDs and stuff, right, because I just something about them that's weird, or it just doesn't feel right. And it's like, it's hard. Who gonna protect you? One of the girls had a tour today, and she sent him on a self-guide, and she says, "Gina, I wasn't going with him. I just didn't feel right." I said, "You're not supposed to." I said, and I felt something was weird about the guy myself. And so we just took his ID, and she just, let him go. But I remember hearing stories about how realtors that would show, houses like at this time, 9:00, it's 9:04 here in Chicago, that would show homes at 9:00 at night, and they would be raped and killed in the house. Because you got some crazy, you got some crazy person. So I'm literally, though, I'm ready to, I want to stop this job. I don't want to do it because it is a safety, thing, measure and stuff. And now that it gets dark quicker, we stop touring now at 4:00 because by 5:00 here in Chicago, it's dark. It's already dark. So they have us stop touring at 4.
They don't have no man that can walk with y'all or assist y'all?
Huh?
They don't have a man that can assist y'all?
Nope.
Wow.
It's just us. And I'm like literally one of the very few that I'm in good with maintenance. So a lot of the leasing agents is not in good with maintenance because they have that I'm better than, them attitude or whatever. I was a maintenance administrator for a long time, and so I've always had a good relationship with them. And sometimes, like usually if I see the maintenance guy, I can say, you know what, such and such need to be fixed in or I can text them and they will go with me and pretend like they're fixing something in the apartment while I'm showing the unit until it's over with. But genuinely, no, we're going in those apartments by ourselves.
Wow.
And a lot of time because it's not based on, like when you do another job, you go do something, you'd be like, okay, they got 20 minutes to do this or 30 minutes. No, you get couples and you get some people that takes an hour to tour, and then you might get someone else and it might take them 15 or 20 minutes to look at because they know what they want and they know their needs and they look at it and they know if they like it right away. But then you may get somebody or that gentleman that he thinks he's in there for a whole fucking hour talking to you about nothing or whatever. So it's hard, and it's really a safety. It's a safety thing, and I don't like it. I don't mind working in the summertime as much because there's a lot more people around, and but in the wintertime when it's not as much people that is out, folks don't really too much pay attention, and then and it's getting dark early. Like a lot of times it creeps me out. I even had one time a female, she creeped me out, and I was just, and one of the guys saw that she creeped me out, and he was just like, he caught on to it, and he was just like, oh, Gina, I got to do something in the apartment. And he was like, oh, you guys, you can go on tour. And I just, when he stayed in there with me the entire time. And she kept saying, oh yeah, you can walk first. You can go first. I'll walk behind you. And everything that she said and did just really made me uncomfortable. And I was like, if this broad attacked me up in here, anything, nobody wouldn't hear nothing if it wasn't for the maintenance guy. So it's, yeah.
Wow. But yeah,
something else.
It's crazy out here, especially for females. And that's my only concern with my daughter. Like,
yeah.
I just want her to go ahead and be, I don't know how to say it, man. I just want her to prosper and just be aware of her surroundings at all times. Like, she a kid still. She don't know the fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids think they're invisible. So
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be trying to tell her, and hopefully she get it together, but I'm gonna be by her side.
As long as you instill it and you keep telling, look, I tell Angel 1,000,000 times a day, I put the Uber and I put the Lyft on Angel's phone. And I did that because when she goes to after school games, when she do this and that, I never want her to be the one that's standing out there waiting for a ride. And then she calls me and say, oh, Mom, well, they didn't have enough room for me. So now can you come and pick me up? And then everybody's gone. I tell her at the minute, soon as the lights come on or they say the game is over or whatever else, you call your Uber right now. And then I can track her. I could track her on my phone, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, the car's pulling up. Okay, and when she gets in there and she's with the Uber or the Lyft guy, I make sure she calls me or texts me so they know I know I'm timing her and I'm clocking her, because you can't trust nobody. And I tell Angel like every day, you ain't got to wait on nobody. You don't have to ask nobody for nothing. I need to know when, where, and how you are, because I'm that mama that's sending the police. I'm not waiting. The same way I did, Cosmic, just the other day when my son was coming home from school Thursday, and I didn't get his message. I didn't hear from him from 2:30 to 4:15. And I was like on the phone with the cops saying, I need for someone to go to my house to check on my son, because I haven't heard from him since 2:30. And they went there and they banged on the door and they walked in and they said, no one's in your house. I'm like, what do you mean no one's in my house? I was about throwing a fit. And then one of the officers went in my house and went from room to room to room to room. And they finally, they found him and they said, okay, we found your son. He's okay. He's doing well. And it was, and I didn't have a relief until I got home and I saw them. But I'm that mama that when you ain't where you need to be at the time I'm expecting you, I'm calling the cops real quick. I'm sending everybody to look out for you. And when that officer said at first in the beginning that he wasn't there and they didn't see, I said, oh yeah, I'm on my way. I'm leaving work right now. Y'all was going to see me. I was going to be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Honey, I was going to have the whole army ship in every place looking for him. If he didn't turn up, you can't trust nothing now. Nothing now. You got to always be cautious, and you got to always be protected. I apologize to the girl at my job today because she was asking me at the time. She says, Gina, are you okay? I said, no, I'm not okay. I was like, bitch, don't ask me, am I okay? And I don't know if my son is okay. But I apologized to her today, and I said, I was a mom. I didn't mean to snap on you like that, but really, I was not okay because I didn't know if my son was home. Wow. It's hard, and like you said, I'm with you. I don't want no more kids. Look, once they get grown, I'm waiting for these last 3 to get grown and out the house. I'm done. I don't have to worry. Look, now my grandkids, they parents got to worry about that shit. I'm done. I want to live the rest of my life, my best life. I want to just enjoy. I want to travel. I want to have fun. I want to drink when I want to drink. And that's it. And I don't want to worry about no more kids because it's too much.
Right. The next girl I'll get, I'm going to be like, listen, we can get a dog. We can get a cat, something, a bird.
I'm with you.
We can get a bird.
That's what I said. I said when I get my little tiny house and stuff, I told the guy, I said, I'm getting me 2 foo-foo dogs. And I said, the only reason I'm getting 2 of them because I don't want the other one to be lonely. I don't want that one to be, so when I'm not around and I go into whatever, they got each other. But I'm getting some dogs where they take care of themselves and I ain't got to worry about too much.
Right.
These kids, it's too much. It's too much. And even when they get grown, you still worry about them. You still worry about them. Even when, like with my daughter, even with her, some days I be at work and stuff, and I still be like, oh, I wonder what her and the baby doing. I wonder is everything, all good over there. Because you always gonna think about them. You always gonna wonder, are they good? Are they really good? Mine's, I used to always, when they were still home, and even with these that's in here now, I go in their room, I check under beds, I check closets, I look every place because I just want to know if something. I don't want to be surprised. I it up in here. Especially if you you coming up in here and you living up in here, I need to know and make sure everything is going okay. I always tell them you borrowing this room, you don't own it. It ain't yours. It's mine. It belonged to me. You borrowing it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Once I got 3 more years, 2 for the twins and 3 for Angel, and I'm done. I'm done. Then I can really live my best life. Yeah. You're right, Belle. It's too much going on. It's too much. That took the cake right there. Just what Classic Man said about how that lady got raped.
Yeah.
In public now, this what they doing? In public? and don't care. You got to be really some kind of crazy to do this in front of a whole bunch of people, and then nobody does anything to help you.
Yeah, you could tell he had some type of mental issue, but just for the people to think that it was okay to videotape, like,
and not help her.
and not help her, she became a victim twice. Not only she become a victim of somebody raping her, now she's a victim of somebody recording her without her permission. And y'all can go ahead and post these videos wherever y'all want. No, that's crazy. Y'all need to go to jail. Crazy.
Yep. And they all should. Everybody that, like you said, I'm with you. Everybody that was on that train, that was around that, they all should have been arrested.
I'm not sure if anybody ever been a silly or rode the trains, but it's all types of push buttons, poor things that you can stop that train in the middle of a tunnel if somebody would have pushed one of them buttons.
They sure will, for any type of emergencies, in case of fires break out or whatever it is. You can push them buttons or pull a handle or something and stop that train, and it will trigger the emergency people to come ASAP.
Yeah, if you don't want to step in, if you don't feel like you can go ahead and confront this dude, all you have to do is push a button and let somebody else deal with it. But for you to go ahead and think it's cool to whip out a phone and be laughing, that tells me what type of person you is too.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. That's
insane.
What I'm
saying. Like, that's why I'm afraid for my kid, and that's why I got to go ahead. And that's what I mean. I already let her down once, but no, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I don't care. She 89, 99. I'm gonna be there as long as I possibly can. But
I know that's right. I know that's how I am. That's, they always think that we're on their backs and we're in their business and stuff like that, but they don't realize until they become parents and stuff, and then they say, oh, now I get it now, because my kids are saying that now, and I look back and I remember a lot of the stuff that my mom did, and I'm like, dang. Now I understand. I get it now, but you don't think so back then. You just be like, oh, she's nagging, or dang, my dad always nagging and everything, and they don't realize that it's the reason. Back in the day, we had to come in when the street lights came on. You better been on the porch. You better been in the house before them street lights came on, or you was getting it. You was in trouble. Now, they don't. I still say this to Angel when she goes to her friend's house or whatever. I'm like, Angel, I need for you to be home before it gets dark. Not when it gets dark, before it gets dark. And I have to tell her this every day. Every time she'll ask, can she, unless they stand after school for their sports activities, because one of the twins is in wrestling and Angel's in dance. So they usually are taking that 5:30 bus home, and so it's already dark when they do it. But I think they coming home together, and and I was a nervous wreck when the twins was in high school last year, and Angel was still in junior high, and I still was at work and didn't get off because she was walking home by herself. And in my neighborhood, we don't too much have to worry about the shootings and stuff like in Chicago, but you got to worry about the pedophiles. You got to worry about them that's coming out here. And so I was always concerned about when she would walk home from that high school, little black girl in a majority white neighborhood walking home by herself. I don't know who watching her every day and knows that this is the way she go every day. So I would be on the phone talking to, when she would get out of school at 3, I would be on the phone talking to her, because the boys wouldn't get home until 3 or 3:30. And I'm like talking to her like, okay, you good? You leaving school now? Let all the way until she got home, because I was a nervous wreck. But now all 3 of them is back together again, and they all go to school in the morning together, and they all come home from school together, and they all have working cell phones. So I tell them, call me, don't text me, call me. I need to hear your voice.
Right.
Because it's, it's crazy. Now you got the killer and the crazy guy. They'll take the phone and text and pretend to be them. So I had to change it up. And now I tell the kids, nope, don't text me, call me. I need to hear your voice, and I need to know that you're inside the house, that you made it inside the house. And that's what I do every day. They come home tomorrow, it'd be the same routine. They get up, they go to school in the morning, they head to the bus stop. When they get off that bus, they are to call me and say, Mom, I'm in the house. It's a lot to have to worry about and deal with. And then you look at it now, you got to, go through it again because your baby's got a baby.
Right.
And you got to worry about it double time. It's crazy.
Well, Queen, I'm at work. Yeah, I'm at work. So
okay.
But
thanks for calling and sharing with us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
No problem. I got you always. We'll talk later off here.
All right.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
You guys, man, you see why this is look at all the education we got and we gave people today. This is the reason why. It's just good to share. It's good to just because you never know who's learning something new, and you never know who's going through something. Yep, we love them, don't we? Love them. We love you. I love all of you. Classic man, he's amazing, and I thank him so much for getting on here and sharing with us and with everybody. Share this video. This is a video that needs to be shared. And I don't say too often. I don't ask too often for anybody to share my videos and stuff, but this is education. That was a pretty cool conversation. I feel better now. I'm so glad that you feel better now, Classic Man. You see what Belle just wrote? Belle said, we love you because we love you. And the one thing about the queendom, we uplift everybody, especially our family. Classic, that's our family. It's a whole group of us that we family. And sometimes you just, you need to have that conversation. Sorry, I have to leave. It was just traumatizing for me, Jean. I understand. I understand, especially when you go through and you start hearing some things. You start hearing some things and stuff that really touches you. Even no nonsense we're saying. It was bringing back up memories and stuff from her. She said she had her first at 19. I had my first kid at 19. I got pregnant at 18. I had mine at 19. I wasn't ready. And then I had babies right after that, constantly. So it's a conversation that had to be had. It was a reason why that all this came full circle. And I'm pretty sure we blessed some people tonight that really needed to hear this, and we're gonna bless some more. And we need to talk about this. We need to educate our children, boys included. We have to educate, because if we educate the boys, when the girls don't know, right, that boy gonna say, "Oh, I'm not going in without a condom." It ain't gonna happen without a condom if he's educated. And if that girl is educated right, and she's gonna say, you ain't sticking that in me without covering up. We ain't doing that without covering up. So it's all about educating our youth, making them understand, because the world don't love you. The world don't love you. These apps and all of these YouTubes and Facebooks and Instagram, they don't love you. They don't love you. So you got to listen. When an adult is telling you something, when your parents is telling you something, it's not because they want to be on your back. It's not because they want to be on your neck. It's not because they want to be in your business, because you really don't got no business. But now, look, Classic Man daughter, she got business now. She got business. She got business now that she's not ready for because she's a child who now has to be an adult. Did you hear what he said? He says, now I can't look at her like that's my baby no more. She's an adult. He got to give her the master because she's an adult. So, yeah, things change really quick. I barely made it out alive from those situations. No one really knows what happened. I'm getting teary. I just writing this. Wow. I get it. I understand. It touches you, and it does bring back that. See that, and this is one of the reasons why I told you guys, I like to share. I like to share about situations that has happened to me. And I've shared a bunch of times about how I was raped, how I was molested, Bill, things it was that I went through. And when I didn't have anybody around to protect me and everything, his daughter, she is so blessed. She is so blessed. She don't know how blessed she is to have a dad, a strong dad. Because Classic Man, he a strong man to just be there for you and support you and put that hammer down and say, look, you gonna do this, and this. I'm gonna be there for you. I got you. And he already got it all set up and planned for her. So when her and that baby come home, she gonna be comfortable. Because ain't too many people got it like that. They're not that lucky. I'm gonna say, if CC and my grandbaby didn't have nowhere to go, they would have came right here. We had to, and when she drops that baby off over here, she don't have to bring diapers. She don't have she don't have to bring a bed. She don't have to bring a toy, nothing, because he has everything here. All she got to do is bring him. Then when she takes him back home, he has all of his other stuff at home. And that's how it is when you have strong parents. Because it's hard. My mom doesn't even know what happened to me, and I haven't told her. And it's been almost 10 years ago. Wow. You should have told your mom. You should have told the second it. Let me tell you, when my daughter got raped on campus, and even the campus police, she called the campus police. And because the boy was popular, he was an athlete, they gonna tell her, well, you really don't want to, do this. You don't want to pressure because you don't want your business and stuff to come out. And I said, you ain't got no business. What the fuck is they talking about? You should have called the police and screamed to high heaven. And she did not tell me. She told Cece. She told her sister. I found out 2 weeks after it happened. And I was livid. Do you hear me? 2 weeks after it happened, I said, where that motherfucker at right now? Because I was ready to get my gun. I was ready to go get his ass. Do you hear me? And she was like, well, mine's nothing I could do now. It's 2 weeks ago. She didn't want to give me any information or whatever it was. She didn't want to tell me the campus but I was ready to go get this motherfucker. I was like, I don't give a fuck if it was 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. I was ready to go get his ass. And I told her, I didn't teach you to hold stuff. I taught you whether it's good, bad, wrong, right, or indifferent. Tell me. And I tell this to all my kids. Tell me. I can't protect you. I can't help you. I can't do anything for you if you don't tell me the truth. If you don't let me know what's going on. And then by you not telling, and you said it's been 10 years, it gives him the chance to go and do that to somebody else because they think they got away with it. And I had to tell my daughter the same thing. I said, by you not telling and putting his ass in jail and everything else, you just made it so he has a chance to do it to another young girl. And that's the reasons why you got to tell somebody. I was so traumatized and shook it all off. Those moments I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I'm telling you now, I tell Mads, I stress this to them, and I've stressed this to them because I had been molested and what I had went to from the time that my children could talk, walk, Every time I put them in the bathtub and took bath and gave them baths, I would instill into them as I'm bathing them. No one is to bathe, is to do this. No one is to tell you to take your clothes off. No one is. You tell mommy, no matter what you, and I instilled this into them all the years. And I never forget. And I told you guys about this story before. When Kayla and Benj was going to stay with one of the church ladies, and she picked them up right from school, and she was supposed to brought them home to get their change of clothes and everything, and she didn't have time. So she called me and she says, Gina, I'm just going to wash their clothes. And I didn't have the conversation with my kids to say to them, oh, she's going to give you guys something to put on. It's okay. Put the clothes on that she gives you and let her wash her clothes for church the next day. I didn't tell them that. Honey, she went in there and tried to get them clothes off of them. Kayla said, no, we're going to keep our clothes on. And she said, well, I'm going to wash your clothes. Kayla said, no, we're going to sleep in our clothes. It's okay. And she said, her daughter said, okay, well, we take Benj clothes. She said, no, Benj going to sleep in his clothes too. So the next day, she called me the next morning and she said to me, she says, Gina, I'm going to bring the kids back. She said, because they slept in their clothes and she said, honey, you taught them kids well. And I said, what happened? She said, Kayla wasn't letting us touch them, she said, I had to tell my daughter, no, leave her alone, because her mom must have told her something. We don't want to scare her. We don't want to make her upset. But honey, Michaela was like, oh, no, we ain't taking our clothes. We gonna sleep in our clothes. No, bitch. She was protecting her little brother too. She said, no, y'all ain't taking his clothes. We gonna sleep in. So she brought them back home because they had slept in their clothes and they didn't have anything clean to wear to church. And I said to her, yeah, I did. I said, I've always told them that from the time they were babies that no one has any reason to take your clothes off of you. You don't let nobody take your clothes off. You sleep, if you have to, you sleep in your clothes, and you tell them take you home the next day or whatever. And that's exactly what my daughter did. But she did that because that's what I had instilled in her from the time that she was a baby. And so now anything that goes wrong, they telling. And I always tell, I said, I'm not going to get mad, because that's most of the time young girls, things happen to, they don't want to say anything because they're traumatized for one, and they think that they're going to be in trouble or they're going to be out. No, I tell my babies, you tell me whether it's wrong, right, whatever. I don't give a damn if you initiated it. When you say no, no is no. When you say stop, I don't give a damn if you butt ass naked. Okay, and you land spread eagle on the table. If you say I changed my mind and no, then that's what it is that you're supposed to do. Thank you, love. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You guys was blessing me. Oh my God, you are, man, I so appreciate you. I so appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, you have to speak up. You have to. I knew wasn't ready, and when I was about to tell her a couple of days ago, I just broke down. Huh?
You got something for my chest, because my chest hurt too bad.
Because it was let me see. Go where's the inhaler?
I don't know.
Wait a minute, I think I got one in my purse. Come in here in the bathroom and go and get you.
It's still alive.
Yeah, go get you. Here, take two or three puffs of that, and then look in that container and take 2 of those pain pills. I mean, in the cabinet. It should be, I think they blue at the bottom. And take 2 of those, and then let me know how you feel in about 30 minutes. I just broke down because it was moments in my life that I wanted to lock away and forget about. That happened those 8 times. I was just lucky to get away. Yeah, take 2 of those. And it was multiple people just separate people for different occasions. Wow. I had to bless you, Queen, for letting me vent. You so oh, classic man. I love you so much. You know, you my heart, babe. You my heart. And you can come and you can vent over here anytime. And like I said, we gonna talk offhand, but you know, anytime you need me, look, I'm right there. I'm right there. Just like now, I was just telling Belle, this is the reason, you know, this the reason I have my platform. So we can help others and support others, because you just never, God brought you here for a reason. You said you popped in and you saw I was on, you went on here, you was on Instagram, you shut off there and you went on. It was a reason. He led you to here. How many puffs did you take?
I take 2.
You took 3?
Yeah.
Here, take this in the room with you in case you need to take 3 more. And then lay down and let me know how you took the pain medicine?
Yeah.
Okay. Lay down for 30 minutes and then let me know how you feel. All right.
Yeah.
I was just lucky to get away, and it was multiple people just separate. Wow. See, I know what I've been through. I've been through that. And I know how it is when you don't have anywhere to turn. You don't have anybody to talk to. You feel alone. And I get it. And that's the reason why I just try to talk to these young girls and people. I haven't really told these moments with anyone because I just didn't want no one to think that I was lying. No. And I get it. And that's why most don't tell. My daughter, that's why she didn't tell. That's why she didn't say that. She told her sister, she told Cece, and Cece told me. And it happened 2 weeks later. And you want me to tell you the reason my daughter told me she didn't tell me? Because she lied to me. She didn't lie to me about that situation. She lied about where she was going. She told me, she says, Mom, and mind you, she in college. So she's grown. She don't have to tell me anything, but she was still living at home. And she said, Mom, I'm going away for the weekend with my friends. It's a couple of us girls, and we're going away for the weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. And I said, okay. And my husband, when I was with at the time, he was like, where's Kia? She ain't back home. And I said, oh, she went away with her girls for the weekend. Well, she lied. That isn't where she went. She went to go see that boy. And she didn't tell the truth. And then he got mad because she wouldn't sleep with him, and he attacked her. And she was a virgin. So she was still a virgin till she was like in her she was like 23 or 24, I think. She was a virgin until. And so she wasn't ready. And so he called him, you know, he attacked her, and they was fighting, and she was fighting him and everything. And she said that, you know, she had she got bruised up pretty bad or whatever. He attacked her, but he didn't rape her. He didn't get that far. Because, you know, and then she said, I think someone else called the campus police because they heard all the commotion and everything. But she said just what you said, but she said, I didn't say anything. She was like, she said, because I thought you wouldn't believe me, because she said, because I lied about where I was going. I said, I don't care if you lied or not. If you told him no, no means no. No means no. And we got to share. We got to share. We have to let our children, we have to make them aware. We do. We have to make them aware. And I think I would love to, I know it's a lot of things going on with this COVID thing and everything, but I really would like to be a speaker and go around to a lot of the high schools and talk to these children about this, because no one is doing sex education anymore. It's not going down in the school anymore. It's not. And they need this. Plus one, the first 4 occasions happened when I was 16 with my first boyfriend, who lived in our building, and I just didn't say anything to his family or sister. Wow, Belle. Wow. And I'm glad that you're getting this out now, because one thing I've learned, when you talk about it, even if you didn't have therapy, And I think this has been therapy for me. Because y'all know anytime I talk about situations, I always use me. I always use me as an example, what I went through and everything. And that's therapy for me. It helps me get it out. The more you talk about it, you release that and you're able to move on. So I'm glad that you're like talking about it now and you're sharing it now, because now you can get all of that out. The same way Classic Man, he was able to get all that. That's my boo, y'all. You still my husband, Classic Man. I don't care who you with, what broad you get rid of. You belong to moi. I'ma come and stalk you. You gonna be, I'm the nana over there. Tell you the papa, I'm the nana over there. We look, you got me no matter what. Y'all know Classic Man, that's my first. He's my first YouTube crush. That's still my baby, no matter what. I don't care who you see. He always be laughing at me all the time. Every time I do that to him or whatever. But you still mine. You belong to me. I don't care who you with, who you go get. He talking about when he get another broad. That messed with my spirit a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm saying to myself, no, ain't gonna be no another broad getting. No. I'm about to come move up there where y'all at. Okay, any vacancies in your building? Because I'm about to come over there. Y'all think that's my baby. Classic Man is my baby. I love him to death, though. Yeah, and we need each other. You know, everybody needs somebody at some point, and sometimes you just want to vent. You just want to get it out your system, not necessarily meaning that you want to solve the problem. Because I never wanted anybody to solve my problem. But I did want them to listen to me. I wanted somebody that would listen to what I was going through and share it, because it just made me feel better after getting it out. My roommate left me in the room after I begged her not to, and I barely made it out alive from those last 4 occasions. Wow. And I understand, and I can relate to that. I feel that I talked about on here before plenty of times, many times before, about my mom's boyfriend and how he would give you that look, you know, like it was that I'm gonna get you look. And every time he would come around, I would be nervous. I would be like this. And I knew I was safe as long as I was around one of my little sisters. So I always tried to keep them around. Everywhere they went, I went. Everywhere I went, they would ask me, could they go? I said, yes, I brought them with, because I knew as long as I'm with them, I'm protected, because he's not going to do anything. And that one day, my mom was at the neighbor's. I think my little sisters, they was at somebody's house or a friend. They might have even been with my mom, and he came over. And when he realized it was nobody in that house but me and him, that's when he molested me. But I told, and it crushed me, because my mom said right in front of my face, even if she pretended that she was, you know, that she would go and handle it. You remember that story? When you're telling the truth and you honest and you 100%, your stories never change. And I told this story 1,001 times. And my mother said to her best friend, when her best friend said, girl, what you gonna do? And she said, she said, girl, I ain't going over there. He got a gun. And she allowed him to come back to our home and said for him to apologize to me, because he made a mistake and I must have misconstrued what he said. He told my mom he was just trying to give me a hug. And she fell for that. And how do you give a young girl a hug with your hands down her pants? How do you give a young girl I think I was like maybe 13. How do you give a young girl a hug with your hands down her shirt and you're squeezing on her almost developed boobs? I don't understand that. How is that? How do you confuse that with a hug? And my mother was okay with him telling that lie and then saying to me he was sorry. And I was disgusted. And from that day, that's when I left home. I told you guys I left home at 13. And not too long after that, I had left home. I left home. I never came back. And my mom she never went looking for me. She never came to get me. What's his location, Gina? I need to go have a talk with him. I'm going to turn into a magician and make him disappear. I know you would. I would. You know what? I wouldn't know at this moment right now if he's dead or alive. He's probably some old goat right about now. So if he's not already dead, if he's not dead, he could be long gone now. But right after that, I left home because I couldn't deal with being in a home and being around people that was not going to protect me. And this is one of the reasons why my family, my children don't know my family. My children still don't. I told you guys a few years ago, a couple years, I told you guys that my twins came to me and said, "Mom, do you have a dad?" They didn't think I had a dad. I don't know how they thought I got here or whatever, but they didn't think I had a dad because they never saw him. They never, my father passed away when I was a kid, but they never saw any father figure for me. They never heard me talking about my father. They've never even seen my father is in a picture book downstairs. Okay. I have the one picture of him. One picture of him and my mother. They were in their like early 20s. And that's the only picture that I have, and I cherish that picture. I don't let anybody touch it because that's the one picture that my mother to this day always asks me for that picture. Why that woman want a picture of him and she hated him and despised him, I don't even know. But me and my mom, we're in a good place. We're in a better place, I should say. Right now, I love her dearly. It's because of that woman is who I am right now. I told you guys, and I'll tell you again, I'm never throwing my mother under the bus for nobody. Everything that she's done to me and for me has been a learning experience. I've learned from it. I've developed into a great, awesome, phenomenal woman, mother, friend, sister. I am the best mom that I know how to be. And I know that I had strived and I had developed into being a better mother than she was. And so now the rest of her days or the rest of mine, I'm living it in peace and positivity. And I can't say nothing but great things about my mother, even though the past is in the past and the past was not beautiful and it was not great, but it taught me to do different and to be better with my children. And that's the reason why I'm the way I am. That's the reason why I go crazy over their asses when I don't hear from them. That's the reason why every time they walk in this room, y'all see me shift from this camera to, oh yeah, what you need. My son said, yeah, let me get this inhaler for you. Let me do X, Y, and Z. This is the reason why. Because they all I got. They all I got. And I told you, I asked this question several times. Would you die for yours? Yeah, I could tell you I'll die for mine. I'll go to prison for mine. But I'm going to protect them with my last breath, with everything. Because no one ever protected me like that. Nobody ever. I told you guys, the first time I ever heard that I was proud, someone say, I'm proud of you, was Cece. Cece was a little girl. She was the first. She says, Mommy, she hold my face. She says, Mommy, you're a beautiful mommy, and I'm so proud of you. That was the first. No one had ever said that. And then after that, it was you guys. It was you guys. That's why I used to always cheer. Y'all know I was a crybaby. I was a crybaby because my mother never said I'm proud of you. That's a good job that you did. I only heard that from my children and people that actually seen me worked hard at what I do, at what I had to do. That's what you are supposed to do. Yep. That's it. Yeah. And so that's why I feel classy. I feel classy man. Look, classy man is like me. We be ready to make somebody disappear, honey. We gonna chop you up, make sushi out your butt, and feed you to the dogs. That's how I feel. And my daughter knew. Look, I remember when Cece told me. Cece wound up having a black eye. I'll never forget this. And it was the day of the winter when we had that ice winter. Some of you guys probably remember we in Chicago. If you was in Chicago. We had, thank you, baby, for sharing my video. We had an ice winter, and Cece told me she had fell and hit her face on the ice. Okay, well, it was logical. It made sense. Months later, went from the winter to the summer. We was now in the summers. It was me, her, and my husband. We were all having, I could remember like it was yesterday. We was having breakfast at Denny's. And I don't know how we got on the subject of abuse, but we got on the subject of abuse. And I was talking about what happened to me. And I was talking about how, I'll never go back to that again. And all of this. And Cece broke down and said, Ma, you remember when I told you I fell on the ice when I had that black eye? And I was like, yeah. She said, that's not what happened. And I said, what do you mean that's not what happened? And she said, well, it was my fault. And I said, well, because see, that's the issue. A lot of us, women that's been abused, and we take the responsibility when it's really ain't no man. I don't give a fuck what you did or what you said. No man has no right to put his hands on you. And she said, that was the first thing that pissed me off. She said, well, it was my fault. And I said, what do you mean it was your fault? She said, because this guy was talking crazy and I was talking crazy back to him. And I told him, you won't do such and such a woo, 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 and fuck you or whatever. And she said he hauled off and punched her in the face. And I said, what? I said, who the fuck is this and where he at? She said, the reason why I didn't tell you, she said, because I knew you would hurt him or you would have somebody go hurt. I said, no, I'm going to kill him. And she said, I knew that because she knew how I felt about a man abusing you because I had been abused mentally, physically, and emotionally. I had been abused and I wasn't standing for that for my daughters. And she knew if she had told me that motherfucker had punched her in the face, I would have kneecapped him. And I'm just telling you like it is. I would have kneecapped him. I have told my kids have heard this from the time. Y'all watch Lifetime. If you watch Lifetime, you probably saw the movie where when the mother's daughter was attacked and raped, and every day she went out as a hooker because she was trying to catch this motherfucker. Every day, the husband was ready to leave, and every fucking single night she went out as a hooker to find the guy that attacked her daughter. So I've always told man, one of them rape mans and this and that, they ain't even gonna need no nothing, because the way I get through handling him, they're gonna put me in a mental institution. Because they're gonna say no sane person would have done this to a human being. Because that's how I feel disgusted I feel about men that put their hands on women, rape them, and attack them. So I felt Classic Man when he said if he had been on there, he would have bust that nigga's head to the white meat. You understand what I'm saying? Because ain't no reason for you to have to rape a woman and take it when you got all these women out here willing to give it to you for free. All these, and see, and folks get things confused. People get things confused. Well, if she didn't wear that short skirt, she wouldn't have got raped. If she wasn't showing her boobs and stuff, well, she wouldn't have got attacked. Rape is not about what you wear and how it is about power. Okay. Do you know how many little old women that's been raped? Do you know how many women that's been in healthcare facilities that's been I know several that was on the news where two of them was in a coma and wound up getting raped by the goddamn orderlies, and they got wound up pregnant. How the fuck do you wind up pregnant and you in a coma? You tell me that, because that person that's laying down in that bed in that coma, she ain't showing her titties, she ain't showing her boobs, she ain't flaunting around. All she doing is sleeping, and she pregnant. She's sleeping and she covered up, and miss me with that bullshit when they out. Yeah, if she wasn't flirting around, I can't stand them mamas be on there saying he didn't try to do nothing to her. She be flaunting around in them little shorts and showing her ass and doing all of this and that and woo woo woo, and that's what happened, and trying to no, where the fuck is you? Why that motherfucker ain't put the fuck out? Why he ain't beat the fuck up for attacking your daughter? It don't make no sense. Exactly. It's still wrong. I will never forget, and I told you guys about this before. My husband, one of his friends, him and the girl got into a fight. The girl sliced and diced him, whatever. He was another one of them abusers and had been jumping on the girl. The girl sliced and diced him, whatever. He had to leave. He needed someplace to stay for a couple of days. My husband asked, could he stay, at our home? I said, okay. He was like, he helped me out. He looked out. Plus, I had knew the guy or whatever. And I thought the guy, he was okay. All right. So he stayed over for a couple of days. Cece came to me one day. She was on her way to school. She says, Mommy, you taking me to school today? I said, because usually my husband would drive them to school and I would pick them up, or he would pick them up and I would drive them to school. She says, I want you to drive me to school today. I said, okay. I drove her to school. She said to me, is Farron's friend, is he going to be there when I get home? And I said, well, I think so. I don't know. I said, why? She said, I don't want him to be there when you. Now my antennas went up. My antennas went up. She said, I don't want him to be there when I get home. I said, okay, did something happen? That's the first question. I didn't say, did you do something? Did he? I said, did something happen? She said, well, no, nothing happened. She said, but I don't like how he looked at me. Ooh, y'all, my antennas went up. Y'all, let me tell you, because remember I told y'all about that look. I told y'all about that look when my mother's boyfriend would look at me and give me that I'm going to get you look. She said, I don't like how he looked at me. I said, okay. She said, I don't want him to be there when you get, honey, I couldn't get her dropped off at school fast enough. I said, oh, he won't be there when you get home. He won't be there. I picked up the phone. Yeah, I was driving while talking because I was pissed the fuck off. And even though he did, I told my husband, I said, get that motherfucker out into this second before I get home. That motherfucker better be the fuck up out my house. He's like, Gina, what happened? What's going on? I said, my daughter don't like how the fuck he looking at her. I said, so something is going down where she got a feeling about something, and I'm going to kill him, and then I'm going to kill you. And that's exactly what I brought it to him. He was like, okay, Gina, okay. I've been telling him to pack his stuff. I've been telling him he got to go. I said, right this fucking second, before I get to the door, when I'm pulling up, that motherfucker better already be on the porch. When I got there, he said, Gina, I don't know what happened. He said, I swear to you, I promise you, I never did anything. I said, she said you didn't touch her. She said you didn't do anything. I said, but I ain't finna wait for it to happen. I said, so however you looking at her or have you, I know about that. And that when she said that, it pissed me off so bad, you guys. I wanted to cut his throat right then. And I said, just don't say nothing else to me. I said, don't say shit else, so just get the fuck out my house. That's all I said. I said, just get the fuck out my house. When my daughter came home, she said she was peaked. She came in and she said, Ma, is he still here? I said, hell fuck no. He left this morning. That motherfucker been gone. And she was like, oh, okay. I said, you good? She said, yeah, we good. right then and there, she knew she had a mama that didn't take no shit. And that's one of the reasons why when I date and stuff like I don't bring people home. I don't bring folks around my children. I don't let anyone. You think Angel is 14 motherfucking years old. Well, will be. Okay. And well, yeah, no, she is. She'll be 15. I'm sorry. 14 years old. Boobs, butt, pie, everything. And you think I'm going to sit there and wait for a motherfucker that's supposed to be dating me and you eyeing my child? I'm going to be in jail. I'm going to be in jail because I don't play that. I'm not playing that. And that's all that's all my baby had to tell me. She said, no, Ma. I said, did he touch you? I made it clear. She said, no, he didn't touch me. I said, did he say anything to you? She said, no, Ma, he didn't say anything to you. I said, what happened? She said, I don't like how he looks at me. That's all I needed, because I will never forget. I'm 52 years old, and I can remember that shit like it was yesterday. Had that look that motherfucker gave me. And every time I think about that look, I think about that's that I'm going to get you look. I'm going to get you the second I had to. And he would always get, when he said, I could feel him. You know, you could feel that person looking at you. I could feel him every time when my mother wasn't paying attention. And mind you, I told you guys, my mom is deaf. So he could whisper and say shit to me that my mom couldn't hear because she's deaf. Like, we was able to walk out the front door and slam the door. My mother wouldn't hear nothing because she was deaf. So she didn't know when he would say different things, but he would always look every chance he get. When my baby said she didn't like how that motherfucker was looking at her, oh, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. I ain't need nothing else. I didn't need nothing. She didn't need to tell me nothing else. But he was gone before she got home. That's why I don't understand why these broads on here, like that other bitch from the shot, how could you have all these different men in your house around your baby? Because most of them are not to be trusted. You can't trust them as far as you can throw them. There is no, and I date. I told you guys, I go out on date. I have fun but I will never bring a motherfucker here. I don't share pictures of my children with them. I don't tell them their names. We ain't doing none of that unless I'm dating you unless it's really, really, really serious. Other than that, no. There's no way. So you got to be careful. And I'm going to tell you this for you young people that's in the clouds, that's in the bushes, that's watching. Tell somebody. Ain't nobody got no reason to take nothing from you. Try to talk you into stuff. Try to say it's your fault. Tell somebody. And you parents, start asking your fucking kids how they doing. Are they okay? Do they need anything? Get the fuck up off of here. If you own here and your child walk in a room or whatever, put your attention on them. These motherfuckers gonna be here. Anyone of mine that's walking, that's why I stop in my tracks and I talk to them. My son came in here twice. Mom, you still on live? I said, yeah. First time he walked out the door. Second time, he said, Mom, my chest hurt. And I knew then that was his asthma. I said, come and get your asthma. Come and get this pain medicine. But I'm talking to, my focus is on him because you're going to be here. And this is the problem that we have. We don't love our children like we should. We don't respect them like we should. We don't acknowledge them like we should. We don't pay attention to them like we should. And then we disappointed when things get fucked up. Got to do better. Got to do better. On that note, it's 10 o'clock, you guys. I got to get ready for work tomorrow. I got to go jump in the shower and all this stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Classic Man. I love you. Thank you, Belle, for sharing. Thank you for all of those that have blessed me this evening. I really appreciate. I'm having Starbucks tomorrow. I can have Starbucks with a Danish and some a couple of cake pops and everything. So I'm gonna have a good coffee day tomorrow. thanks to you guys. I so appreciate you guys. And look for me in the morning. We're going to have some more chit chat. Okay. I love you guys. Peace. God bless. And ta-ta for now.